Hello there, toppers! I've got another video for you, a brief bloat guide, and actually the bloat guide will be starting in the maiden room. You want to go into bloat with 122 HP, and you want to be fully divined. So you'll see a trick a lot of people do is they'll divine combat before the maiden room ends, but when it ends, you get healed. So you get healed your divine combat damage if you drink your divine combat before maiden does her healing. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So we finish off maiden here. I click my divine combat. I was already over 100 HP, so it didn't do anything for me. But if you were sub 100, you'd heal back up to 99 there. And you can be full HP even if you just drink a divine. And you want to be 121 HP, so that's kind of an important thing. You eat your anglerfish right after maiden. Now I'm going to pause for just a second here. Another really important thing for the bloat room is starting it correctly. And the way you start the bloat room correctly is you make sure your entire team is by the doors when you go in there. And so I see my team is all pretty close to the doors here. The first person that goes into the bloat room will need to enter bloat's chamber immediately. They were going to be responsible for going straight into the room. And if you run in, if the first person runs straight through these doors and immediately clicks to go into the bloat room and gets in as fast as possible, that guarantees that bloat will almost always down by the front door. Sometimes, rarely he downs in the back, but most of the time he will down by the front door. And so you'll see what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and go in, and I'm going to run straight to try and enter into the bloat room. Now, if I'm not the first in, I don't have to do anything. I just have to stand by the gate. So you'll see all of my teammates here just stand by the gate waiting to go into the actual chamber where bloat is. But since I was the first through the doors, my responsibility is to start the room. And I can see right now all 4 of my teammates are in the chamber, which will mean that I can go in. This is why you wait by the front door. If you don't wait and somebody's not in the chamber when I get to the gate to go in here and I click the gate, it's going to give me a message saying I need to wait for my team to come in. So we want everyone to be in the room close to the same time so that when I get to the gate, the very first person gets to the gate, we can go ahead and start the room. And so I'll click the gate and go in as fast as possible. And that's the method to get bloat to down by the front door. You run in as fast as possible, you click straight in if you were the first person that came in the room, and that will cause bloat to down by the front door. You know when bloat's going to go down because he has these flashing lights on his back, and you see I can hover over those flashing lights right there. So I'm in the room waiting for him to go down. My teammates are looking for the flashing lights. I see the flashing lights, so I run straight to bloat, and I use my spec here. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late. Now you can get 4 scythe hits in after your first chally if you're right on time. I'm still going to get my 4th hit in there because I'm a greedy bastard. So I hit my 4th scythe hit. I try and dodge the stomp, but I was 1 tick too late on there. I still go in there and try and flinch my chally. Gets us down to sub 50, and a lot of times if you're in the sub 45 range, sub 50 range, usually around sub 45, you're pretty sure to be able to get a 2 down. Lots of people almost always try and greed the 2 down. That's what we try and do. And so we can get sloppy with it sometimes, and that's all right. The thing is, it's a lot of fun to go for the 2 down. We see it flash, we see it go down again. So I'm on it. Claws the second time, so we always use 2 challies on the first phase, then claws on the second phase. And we're going to stay here. And if you're ever going to stay like this, you should be ready to ticky. And we see that bloat is coming. He does his stomp. We all ticky the stomp. If you want to know how to tick eat the stomp, it's actually really, really easy. The way to tick eat the stomp is you tick eat it right when your screen starts to shake. So I'm going to slow this down here. Let me do my playback on maybe 2/3 here. So bloat's coming with the stomp. My screen starts to shake. That's right when I click. When your screen starts to shake, that is your ticket to be able to tick eat the stomp. I'll show that one more time. Screen shakes, click the angler, and that will help you tick eat the stomp every time. Other things to highlight in this room, knowing how many attacks you can do. So if you come in the room on time, you can always do 1 chally, 4 scythes, 1 chally. And by coming in the room on time, what that involves is clicking as soon as the lights start to flicker on bloat's back and having a good bloat down, where by good bloat down I mean he's right by the front door, and that allows you to come in and hit really quickly. A lot of times, if you're the first person in the room, you might be delayed like I was there if you're not paying super close attention and you're not keeping really close behind Bloat. So it can be a little harder to get those forced height hits in. But generally, what you want to shoot for is on the first down, Chally, force ice, Chally. And on the second down, you want to start with your declaw and finish up with 4 or 5 scythe hits, whatever is going to finish off the boss. And hopefully, if everybody in your raid is doing that, you're going to be in good shape because you'll basically get the 2 down every time. You're seeing here the importance of being 122 HP because when you're doing these really greedy methods, you're very likely to take the stomp, very likely to get flied a couple times. And so, however much HP you can start with, the more HP you can start with, the safer and safer you're going to be in this room. So I hope that gives you some idea of the best way to do Bloat Room, or at least some tips for it. Dodging the hands, super important. Another thing I should mention about dodging the feet and the hands, they can't land in the same place twice, so there's a safe tile after a hand has landed there, so that can be helpful sometimes. And he only can turn once in normal mode, so if Bloat ever turns, you can be really close behind him because he can't turn again. So just maintaining distance around this corner, try not to fly your teammates. That'll help you be able to greet as much as possible and keep everybody getting 2 downs as much as possible. So that's my advice for Bloat for now. Hope that helps everybody.